Give me your money.
Man, you don't want to do this. Come on. Said don't do this. Okay. Criminals don't play according to the rules. In this country, there's an assault every 29 seconds. What if he's coming for you? And what if he's armed? I'm Captain John Painter of the American Rangers. Welcome to Nine Dragon Bakwazang for street combat. The techniques we'll be demonstrating in this video are not classical Chinese martial arts. They're based on my experience in training law enforcement officers for over 20 years, and also my work as a professional bodyguard.
In this, the fifth video in the Nine Dragon series, we will continue building on the natural Bakwazang skills you developed in the first 4 tapes. In street attacks, we are often confronted with one or more opponents who are armed with a club or a stick of some sort. In this tape, we will show you practical methods based on the Nine Dragon Bakwazang system for dealing with this problem.
And when we're walking the circle and we're looking at variations, we have some that you have a lot of fun with. The first one, variation here, is called Big Dragon Turns Around. I'm walking, and I want to turn around. I can turn around to the inside or the outside, but I'm going to use my palm to push in this position like in a yin heaven palm. Pretend you're walking around, and then place your left hand like you're putting it in your pocket as you go into the boss step, and then push off to the outside like this. Then orient yourself back to the middle again. Now let's do that again. As I turn, toe in, like I'm putting my hand in my front pocket, and push. Okay? Now let's take that principle and apply it to one of the turns. As I walk here, I'm going to use a heaven palm. This is a heaven palm pressing, because remember, heaven palm lifts up slanting. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, or this, or this. Any of these are heaven palms. So let's use it this way. Now, as I come here, I'm going to make the turn by putting the hand in my pocket, supposedly, and press and lift and turn. This is Big Dragon Turns Around to the inside. From here to here. This way. There's one variation from here to here with each move. Here, here. So you make it smooth, so it's one continuous change as you build up. Take it apart at first and examine it, and then make it one smooth change as you do it, like this. That's Big Dragon Turns Around to the inside. To do Big Dragon Turns Around to the outside, walk the circle again. This time, start your outside step and pretend you're putting your hand in your back pocket. Reach around, put the hand in the back pocket, step through and push, just like so. Walk around, toe out, put your hand in the back pocket, come right near your kidney here, and push. Then step back in. Now in this one, you're going to notice I'm not changing direction on the circle. I'm just going around. This is another variation. To practice it, begin here, toe out, hand coming up. We're using the heaven palm as an illustration. Press back with energy, shift the weight, come under, and walk. Then go out, shift, and through. Here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Inside, 1, 2, 3. Inside. Outside. Just play this over and over again until it feels very easy. Make sure when your hand is coming up that you don't bend the arm 90 degrees. Let the arm roll with the other arm. So there's a circle of energy transferring here, like this. And then step in with energy. Notice the stepping powers the hand. Always up and out. Don't just swing it. This way and up, and up, so on. These are called big dragon turns around. Now, this is one of my favorite exercises and variations. It's the dragon circles the moon. From here, walk the circle. Get your favorite posture. Doesn't matter which one. And as you start an outside turn, bring the hand over, almost behind the back of the head. Not 90 degrees, but here. Just grazing the top so that it passes the back. Bring the other hand and the big dragon turns around. And as you step, push down with the right hand and then press down with the left. Like so. And come back up and walk. Again, turn. Here, put your mind here. Then push. Press. And then lift. As you step, lift. Lift. That's it. And then here. 1, 2, 3. So you end up doing this type of action. Turning over, coming behind the head, and pressing down. As we look at the wind and the water palms for working against someone attacking us with a weapon, we have to remember this very important point. When somebody is trying to hit you or strike you with a weapon, and in these instances, in this tape, it will be blunt instruments like clubs and baseball bats and so on. We want to understand that this person is trying to do you serious bodily harm. So it's very important that you get out of there as quickly as possible. The best defense is not to be there at all. So if you can escape without engaging in combat, that's the smart thing to do. If you go somewhere and it feels wrong, get out of there. Trust your instincts. However, if you get into a situation and you can't stop what's about to happen, then you have to act. You have to act quickly, you have to act decisively, and you have to act with a tremendous amount of energy and power. You have to take everything you've learned from all the other tapes and put them into one instant in which you will strike as quickly as possible. You have to control the weapon. You have to control the man. That's what we're going to look at here in these tapes. It's really very important to practice slowly and carefully with your partner so that you both know how to do these things at first in slow motion and then speed them up. And always try to use practice weapons. That's important too. Now, in moving, we're going to be able to keep the center line here between the ears closed by taking a stance or a posture. In the earlier methods of dealing with hand-to-hand combat, we don't necessarily take a posture until we are ready to attack. So the posture becomes like a wedge, which we've talked about before. In this instance, I'm using the water palm here to protect the front of my body in this movement. I might be using the wind palm here also to protect the front of my body. Any of the positions from the circle walking with the wind palm or with the water palm are used to close my center line and to protect my body as I move. But these should not be static positions that I stand in waiting for the guy to come to me. These should be things that I move from the void stance. I move immediately into it. I move immediately into that and then follow up with the next action, the next strike, and the next takedown. That's very, very important. We're going to now take a look at what we call the RYG principle. That means red, yellow, green. It's just like the stoplights. One, the red means danger, yellow is caution, and green is safety. When you're dealing with a weapon-wielding opponent, he may have different sizes of weapons. Maybe not all at the same time, but he'll have different sizes of weapons. Mike comes in here. He's got a long staff, which, by the way, you're not going to find too many people running around the street with. But this would be the longest kind of thing. It might be a broom handle or a stick of some kind. So for practical purposes of streetwise defense, you don't need to worry too much about anything much longer than your waist here. But we'll look at this anyway. When Mike has this weapon, it's a long-range weapon. So I'm going to have to spread way out here. Now, Mike can still hit me. So at this position, I am really in a point now where I'm in red, meaning that Mike can hit me with one movement without having to do much more than just thrust his arms forward. So I'm in danger. In this position, if Mike moves first, there's no way that I can block him. It's just neurologically not possible for most people to block somebody if the guy moves first, if you're in red. If I move back here, I'm in the yellow zone. So now Mike can't reach me unless he takes at least one step. If he takes one step, he can reach me, and I have time to move out of the way. Or I have time, again, Mike, I have time to move to the side, sidestep, and get off the line. So I want to try to remain in yellow if possible. Now let's say Mike's going to swing this thing around in a large arc. Here I am in red. I'm in big trouble, you see? I'm in very big trouble. So when I move here, when he swings it around, if I can get back into yellow, I'm safe. Now where is green? Green is when he has to run after me. So that's when I'm way outside of his range. Now the range changes. Mike, if you'll pick up one of the, let's just take the short weapon there, okay? He's got a short stick. Now with a short stick, Mike is in a different zone. So now I'm in Mike's yellow zone because he can, without taking a step, if he swings, he's not going to hit me. He's just barely going to get close. If I'm in green, he's got to come 3 or 4 steps to get to me, so I'm relatively safe. If I'm back here, I'm in red, and I'm in big trouble now because when he swings, he can hit me. If he's really fast, it's very difficult for me to move quickly enough at this range to get off the line and to stop him. At best, I'll probably end up trying to stop him here and end up getting a blow to the neck or something. So I want to try to start everything in yellow and keep my distance in the yellow space so that I'm making him have to come to me. Now, there's another safe place, and this is another rule or principle in the Nine Dragon system, and we call this the too far, too close. We know that out here in yellow is too far, so when he swings, I'm too far away. However, in red, I'm in big trouble. But when I occupy his space, moving all the way in here, that arc is now not dangerous to me either. So now I am too close for him to hit me. Therefore, if he's taking a big wide swing from somewhere and I move rapidly inside, now it's too close, and the energy coming from this staff is not going to cause me any damage at that point. Then I have to be able to take over and control his center. See? So we have these distances, and it's very important for you to research this with your friend when you're practicing. Research the idea of how far and how close and how quickly you can move in and out of these zones. That's another reason the moment you sense any kind of danger, you want to center and drop, as we practiced in the first couple of tapes, the combat readiness movements of dropping down into the center and being ready so you can launch forwards, backwards, or to the side. So look at the zones, look at the ranges of the various weapons that you might encounter so you'll know how to deal with them. Use the RYG. Try to stay in yellow, which is caution. Anytime you're in a position you might consider to be red, which would be here, the only defense I can have after closing with him would be to, if he's just threatening me with this, would be to be touching him. If I were touching him on any part of his body, let's say he was threatening me like this, if I were touching him on any part of his body, saying, hey, please don't do this, stop, whatever, now this touch will give me or telegraph to me through my nervous system any movement he might make. So if he attempts to try to hit me with the staff, then I have control now, and I begin instantly moving in, you see? So if he went from here and will try to come up in this direction, I will immediately sense it, and I'll be able to start moving and control him from that position, okay? This is what we call the RYG and the too far and the too close principles of the Nine Dragon Baguazhang system. One of the things you're going to learn as you study the Nine Dragon Bagua system is that the principles upon which the art is based are much more important than the actual techniques or application movements. Well, one of the principles we're going to look at now involves the circle and the wedge. Now, when we're talking about a weapon, let's come out with this, Matt. We've got a little baseball bat here, all right? Using the baseball bat, one thing I want to point out very clearly, you see, here's Matt holding the bat. Now the bat is a weapon, see? The bat can cause you a great deal of harm. However, and I want to illustrate this so we all understand something here, the bat, the stick, the staff, the club, the tire iron, whatever it might be, it can do absolutely nothing to you by itself. It is not the weapon, it's the man using it. So you don't need to control the weapon, you need to control the man who is attacking you. That's one of the most important principles to understand. This thing can't do anything to me just lying there. It's only when I give it to him and he decides to hit me with it, see? So I want to understand about the circling and the wedge. Now, if he's coming to the inside with a movement, and this doesn't have to be a bat, it can be any kind of a club or weapon, as the movement swings into the inside this way to strike me, I want to either move back. And if I move back out into that zone, I'm giving him another shot. He's going to come back with something else. So my best bet is to not give him a second shot. My best bet is when he comes swinging in to circle inside and to control. Now, as we go through the tape, we're going to look at ways of advancing our ability to control someone. But right now, all I want you to study on this part of the tape is when the person comes on an inside swing. Inside means he's swinging from his outside to his inside like this. So when he comes here, that you want to close in. Now, Matt, this is an important point when you're practicing with your friends. Always practice very safely. We're using this bat here, so be very careful. Don't move at full speed right now. But I want you to come with the bat always so that it's where it would make the real impact had it been someone swinging it. So swing it down, and let's see if we've got your right distance. Yes, see? If you practice so that you swing here, or you don't actually swing at the target, then you're going to teach yourself and your partner the wrong way to control the weapon. So you always get in that position. Now, I'm back here, and I'm in a yellow position. So you start to move, and I swing inside. This is the first thing, you see? Now, I'll begin now using the wedge, see, from the water or from the wind palm. And so as you swing in, I begin using the wedge here, and it starts to bounce you out, you see? I'm controlling your center. That's a very important concept to understand. Now, suppose you're swinging across this way. See? It's a different angle, so I have to go at a different position. So when you swing here, I have to come to another position, all right? Using the position and my circling ability that I've learned in walking the circle and learning the ba stepping patterns and so on, I can close in on you very rapidly and spin around you and control your center. You see? I can also slip it, meaning that when the bat comes down or the club comes down, that I get here off the line, you see, and move out of the way. I'll be moving off the line. Now, you don't have a lot of time, Matt, when something's coming down at your head, to leisurely come down at my head here, to leisurely move out of the way a great big distance. You have just a very little time to turn your body and slip by, you see. This is why your footwork and your body work, the ability to move and turn your body like a dragon, the ability to focus your eyes, see, like a monkey watching everything, see, and the ability to soar with your body like an eagle. All of these things are so important in the Bakwazang practice because you put them all together when you're doing this, you see? So the various angles you need to study. Figure out every possible angle that someone would be able to strike you from and make big movements at first. See, at first Matt is using really large movements here like this. Later he can make smaller and smaller movements, and you see how you would deal with those. And you'll find as his movements get tighter and smaller that your movements have to get tighter and smaller also and faster in terms of circles. This is using the circle and the wedge concept to deal with clubs and other types of blunt instruments when they attack you. Well, I'm going to take a look now at the baseball bat idea again with Terry. Terry, if you'll come in here, we want to look at the three different ways of entering or controlling you as you control your weapon trying to hit me. So the first thing is when the weapon comes in, usually with a weapon like this, it's some kind of a swing, down or out or whatever. We have first the concept of opening, which means that when you swing the bat slowly at me here, I'm going to open you. This means I'm coming into your center, opening you, striking, hitting, or something. But this is called opening, see? Now, if I'm coming in, I use water form. I can also use what we call upholding, which means that I sweep under this way. See, now I'm upholding you. This is the upholding energy of the water palm to go into something else for a control, takeaway, takedown, whatever. All right, that's upholding. The other one would be from here, let's say you're swinging across this way, would be closing, which is bringing your energy in here, see? So when you're coming in that direction, I'm going to close you, see, here, using water palm in some fashion, so that I can, again, disarm you, all right? So this is called, again, entering here, which is opening. I'm opening you, or upholding you this way, see, or closing you this way, see, coming in. Closing, upholding, opening. The three principles for moving and working with the water in the wind palm in this section of our tape. When we are using these techniques of closing, opening, or upholding, we still don't want to forget about taking the center on the first move. Your swinging energy here is no different than like a back fist, except now you've got a bat in your hand. So I want to still use the wedge concept. When you move in, if I use water or whatever, I'm going to pulse into you this way so it shocks you and moves you. This is going to cause you to do what we call a brain blink, which is just a stop, a little bit of a shock. But I'm not hitting you. I'm using the wedge as you slide in to close you and shock you here, you see? Now, if I'm using upholding, I'll be doing the same kind of thing here to your body in the same way, you see? And this little momentary blink is the very instant that we try to do whatever technique it is we're going to apply, or we try to put you in a position so you're more malleable and we're able to control your body and take the weapon away and throw you down or hit you, or however we're going to control you. Now, if you're doing one where we're going to be entering, then we come in from here and we use this. This is the water palm again. I want to point out here that just because I'm coming in here does not mean that you can't try to do something with that other hand, you see. You might be able to hit me. However, if I'm using this principle, I want you to open your palm here, see, and come around and actually slap me in the head. See, go ahead and hit my hand like that. Now, if you can do that when you swing this, try to, okay, but you're going to swing the bat. I'm going to do what we call sourcing when I enter. When I enter here, when the bat comes around, just go slow first. I'm going to source you here, which is going to give you that brain blink. And I want you to see what happens with this palm. Okay, so just nice swing with it. See? Did you try to hit me?
Yes.
So you can't hit because it turns off neurologically the control of that hand for just a second. Now, if I had not timed that well, so that as you moved in, let's do it slow, see, and I had hit you and then stood here, you would have pasted me, you see. But because I turned the body and used the full energy and projected at the same time, that little snap happens to the head, the brain, and it shuts that hand off. So it makes it very hard for you to throw a second maneuver. I really am not interested, if you come around here, in trying to do this and then block something in here, see, and then get into some kind of a wrestling match with you. What I want to do as you come around is hit you this way, see, using the water palm, and throw you out. And all of these things are circles. Some of them are sort of half moons, some of them are full circles, but they're all carrying my full body weight into my arm as it slams into you. This is how we use the idea of neutralizing and controlling you when we come in, see, for any of these particular positions or postures. The next principle I want to talk about is called NCCD, neutralize, counter, control, and disarm. Now, where a lot of weapons defense breaks down is when someone like Matt's coming here and he's got a stick to hit me with, and he's going to swing the stick, just show me a swing somewhere. And the first thing I try to do here is what I told you not to do in the beginning, control his weapon. See, fighting or wrestling with his weapon leaves all of these weapons available. That's not a good idea. So the first thing you have to do is get off the line. That's called neutralize. So when he swings, I'm off the line, number one. Now his weapon is out of a danger position. That's neutralize. The very next thing I want to do is take his mind as far away from this weapon as possible. So when he swings the weapon, I want to strike him. That's called counter, okay? The third thing that happens is my hand comes right down here. It came from here down. This is control. See, now I'm controlling the weapon. I have controlled the man. Now I can control the weapon. I have neutralized. I have countered, I have controlled. Now I can disarm and strike back if I choose and move away. All done as a circle. This is neutralize, counter, control, and disarm. Let's look again slowly. He comes in, get off the line. That's one. As the moment you're getting off the line, that's neutralization. The moment you're getting off the line, counter. Here. Control. Here. Disarm. See? And then you're continuing to move away, striking back if you choose. Neutralize, counter, control, disarm. When we want to dislodge the weapon, there are three basic ways to do this. First, I'm going to look at the wind palm idea. This is throwing the palm, as we've seen. His hand, even if he's threatening me or if he's swinging, but let's just say the hand is still here. When we talked about neurological controls earlier in one of the other tapes, we were talking about the wrist locks and wrist releases. We were able to see that by touching or hitting a part of the body takes the energy away from the place where the energy thinks it's supposed to be. So you're holding onto the stick. If I pull on the stick, you're not going to turn loose. However, if I'm holding the stick here, just holding it this way or anywhere, you can hold as tight as you want. If I use the wind palm on any part of your arm here and hit it, the stick will come immediately out. Now, this is not an acupuncture point, acupressure point. There's no chi involved in this. All that's involved is the brain sending a signal here, which deletes the signal going to here. So you hold this nice and tight. I could slap you with water palm here, and it'll make you turn loose. You see? I could use any palm I wanted. It could be heaven palm, and you'd release the stick. You see? That's one way. I could be doing it from the inside, the outside. The timing has to be just right. I can't hit you and then take the stick away because you'll adjust very rapidly. You see? I can't take the stick away and hit you. That won't work either. The only thing that will work is if a split second before I attach myself to the weapon, this makes this contact. Then the energy shifts to here. There's no energy left here. See? So, like this. You see? The wind palm. All right, now, another way of doing it is to twist or use a lock. So we come in here, and we can bind your hand in some manner so that it makes it difficult for you to hold the weapon, and then we can take it away. This twisting takes place here. See? You can bind the weapon here, like so, and pop it out. That's called twisting. That would be some kind of binding. I can do it in that direction or in this direction. Any direction that I might have the stick being held towards me in or coming at me, when I control the weapon, binding it, see, acts like a lock and takes it away. That's the second manner. The most common thing that I will use in the Nine Dragon system, because I'm entering a lot or coming in or out, is the sliding method, using the hawk catches sparrow maneuver. We'll come in and down so that I come under the lip of the weapon. If you've got any of the weapon sticking out here, even if it's just that much, my hand coming here, see, will attach with the wind palm dropping down. And then it just simply comes through and pops into my hand like this. See? So even from the back, the rear, or any position, I can be here, coming in this way. I'll hit your arm to check. When I'm checking you here, this hand coming here, see, controls the weapon and takes it out. All right? So if I want, I can control you from three different ways. I do want to try to disarm you. Neutralize, counter, control, and disarm. Because if I don't disarm you, and you're hitting at me with a stick, and I just slap you over here, well, you're a whole lot more angry now, and you still got the weapon. So better off that I try to put you down and take the weapon so I can get away. This is how we're going to use these principles of disarming someone as we look into the practical applications coming up in just a moment. You'll seldom encounter really long-range weapons like the staff. They're more of a classical practice weapon. But if you do, you need, again, still to get off the line and move the spine and try to control. So, Mike, you've got a staff there. So let's try a straight thrust, okay? You're going to come from here with a straight thrust. Essentially, I'm using Mike's energy here. So when Mike comes in, again, in Nine Dragon, I'm only using water palm here and moving and flowing. I really don't know what I'm going to do before I start doing it. I don't plan it out. So I just have to flow your curve of energy. So if you come and you thrust at me like that, I'm first getting off the line, see? I'm controlling. Now I'm coming around here, and I feel your body starting to move, which is fine. So I continue to add to this momentum, carrying you around and around the staff until you fall. See, if you had moved in a little bit different direction, stepped with a different foot, I would not have planned it, but I would have made a different type of movement. Let's say I had chosen to go to the other side. So I'm going to stand here like this, Mike. I want you to make a thrust at me. See? This is a little bit different movement. Again, it was a circle, but the movement's different. Do a little slower. First, I got off the line, water palm up, come underneath with water palm again on this side, here, and then carry the energy back and over as I start to walk the circle. See? So I'm moving through, walking the circle. And I have the weapon. Now, if you're swinging with the staff, you got a long range, yeah. If you're swinging, your impact point is here. Now, important point to make here is that at this point, this energy is magnified hundreds and hundreds of times. It's enough to break stone. So it can very easily crush a skull. However, when he swings, if I'm in here, this energy now is reduced dramatically. It's enough to hit me a little bit, but not enough to cause me any real damage. So when I'm entering, that's one of the things I want to do. So when I come in here, I'll use the palm and enter to get inside, you see? All right, so try a swing in that position. Let's see what this does. Here and around. Let's try that again. Okay, back over here just a little bit. There. Now, Mike, when you're swinging, you come in. There. Utilizing your energy, all right? Try swing again. You want to come from that. Yeah, that side's a good side, okay? I'm going to enter here, swing around, control, and put you down. Here, again, control. See? All right? This is work with a classical weapon. Again, you won't find too many of these kind of things on the street, but you might see somebody with a broom handle or something that's quite long. So remember to enter. If you're swinging from the other side, coming in here, again, you can enter here and control. The best thing is to enter as he starts to swing. Once he starts swinging and you jump back, see, you're liable to get a hand hit, an arm hit, or something, or at least you're out of the way the first time, he's going to come with another one. And every time that you dodge him, you get closer and closer to actually getting hit. So if you can move when he's moving, like you're coming in there again from that side, I can move if he's moving, then control him. If you want to use the weapon, that's up to you. Don't underestimate the small stick, because a small stick can move very, very fast and do a lot of damage. Anything from a nightstick to a club, even a flashlight, something like that, like a long, heavy flashlight, can do an awful lot of damage. Here is a stick, like you might find somebody would have. But we also have, Matt, if you'll get it, the flashlight over there. Now, this is a practice weapon that we've made up, and we'll be using this as well. So this is about the same length. And I made this one up so that it's out of foam and tape. Therefore, it's not going to hurt you a whole lot if it hits. And it's a good idea to make your own practice weapons. Don't really even practice with a heavy stick. It's better to use a practice weapon so that if you do get hit, you're not going to get hurt. I would also recommend in the beginning, when you start practicing, to use a foam-padded helmet of some kind, so if you do get hit, it's going to absorb the blow. But in the beginning, don't practice at all at a fast speed. Practice slow. Now let's look at what this one looks like with wind palm. He's going to use a short stick. Let's use this. Yeah, just use the practicing. You're going to use this like you're going to hit me in the neck here. Boom, this way, okay? Now, step back into your zone here, and I'm in here. You're going to close in and hit me. All right? using wind palm. Let's do this one again. He's got the flashlight. He's going to come in slow. I'm checking again, neutralizing, see, striking with the wind palm, and disarming all at the same time as I spin. All right? I'm going to do that one more time. Back off over here. Okay, go. Again, I'll mention when somebody's attacking you with a weapon, you have to treat them accordingly. You have to do what you have to do as fast as you can do it and get out of there. You don't want to hang around. Now, we've outfitted Matt here with the safety goggles, so when we're using, even though we're using a soft rubber foam weapon here that'll bend, we still don't want to cause him any undue pain. We're going to look at a backhand strike with the weapon. This would be like a backhand here from a short stick or a nightstick or a staff or a flashlight, something like that. So he's going to use that. I'm going to use wind palm and also try to use the weapon as well. So hop back over here and we'll get good and we'll try the movement there. All right, let's take a look at that now. As you came in, I got off the line, used the wind palm. I'm coming down here because of safety, hitting your arm. Normally I would come through here, hit the side of your head, the side of your neck, in this position, see? But for practice sake, I'm just hitting the side of your arm. I'm taking the weapon away, and as you come right around in line with the weapon, I'm simply uncoiling my body, striking you with it again, see? I can come back. So this is how I can use the weapon as you move in. This is a medium weapon. You might come against a tire iron or some kind of short metal weapon. And in this, we're going to use the water palm circling here and wrapping. We're going to wrap the body when he comes with the tire iron. Let's take a look at this. Terry, bring your tire iron in. Okay, stand back over here. You're going to approach me like you're going to attack me. I want you to hit me with the tire iron, okay? Control and release. Let's break this down and take a look at it, all right? As you moved in, you're coming down on an angle like this. I'm coming with the water palm. I am neutralizing and countering by attacking your underarm here and also spinning. The spin takes you around my body and the hand pops the tire iron out, so I've got the weapon when we come over here. Okay? That's how it works. Again, just very slow with the iron. Come up close to me here. As you're closing in, I'm coming inside the range of the weapon, neutralizing, not blocking. I am not stopping your arm. Never do that. I am blending with your arm, throwing you in this position, see? Always blending with it. So, come again at speed. Really try to hit me. See? This is how it works, to blend and neutralize when the energy comes in. Continuing with medium weapons. Terry, will you bring in a baseball bat here? Now this bat you can swing to strike, usually just like a slugger would strike. You try to knock the guy's head off. All right? So let's do that and let's neutralize and control. Okay? Step back over here. We'll use the water palm in the movement. Okay? Good. Okay. Let's take a look at what happened here. All right. As you moved in, I came underneath the water palm coming up. Again, my hand striking you here with the wind palm coming up here. This takes you over, carries you down, and I'm sliding down, as we talked about earlier, taking hold of the weapon, and that starts the lock, see, which takes you into the throw. Okay? That's how that functions. So do it about a moderate speed so we can just see the flow of it as it comes through. Okay? Here, here, and here. Now, Terry, if you were swinging with a backhand swing, let's say you took the bat and you came around this way. See, I can, again, get off the line. Now, I want to make sure that I'm in the place here where I'm safe, but as you begin to move, okay, I'm going to close the distance so that I'm past the impact point. See? Now I'm going to use what we used on the previous tape, which is the lock, the chin knob method. The chin knob method here of crack the willow branch. See? So when you come in there, I'll use that. All right? So you get back and you take a swing and try to knock my head off with the bat. Okay? There you go. See? Now I want to point something out here that I think is very important. Terry's wearing short-sleeve shirts. He's under the hot studio lights. He's very sweaty. I can't hold on to him. His arms are slick. So I have to use the turning and the circling and the compressing of the body as we talked about in the previous tapes. Because you can't judge how a person's going to be dressed or how they're going to set up for you. His shirt is too flimsy to hang on to. It would tear off if I tried to do this. So when he comes around here, what I have to do is control the whole body with my energy, not by a grip or a grasp or something like this, but by the energy, you see? I have to control the whole thing. So that if I tried to do this technique, and you came in here and I tried to catch you, my hands would just slip off, see, and I'd get hit. But by rolling the whole body and controlling your spine, I'm not really controlling your arm as much as I am your spine. I'm locking the arm in the crack willow branch, but that's going into your shoulder, which is going into your spine. So hit me here again, like this, and we'll see what I mean. Good. Okay? The flow is good. The fluidity. I have to blend with you, not try to hang on to you. That's really important. With the baseball bat and mat here, we're going to talk about him trying to break the ribs. This is a favorite target of somebody with a medium-sized weapon like a slugger here. So I want you to come in. I'll be standing sideways like this where maybe I don't see you. And you're going to come in here and try to break the ribs, okay, as you move in. I'm going to use water palm in a very small uprising way, not high as we're used to doing it, but uprising this way and also closing, all right? So you get back there, you get ready. I want you to hit me as hard as you can in the ribs. As I blend with you, when you come in slow now, I'm coming off the line, I'm checking you, coming around and wrapping you with the palm, raising the water palm up to carry you around and down, and actually just locking it under my arm. See, so I've got the bat. I'm in control of it here, anywhere I want it to be. See? Okay? Now, take that one more time at speed. Back off over here. Use it. Wait. Get ready. I want you to come at me as though you really are angry. You're going to try to break my ribs. Good. Okay? Now, if you took the same thing and did it in the opposite direction, coming around here like this, see, you're also going to try to break the arm, maybe, if my arm's down here, or break my ribs. All right? This time, I'll use the opposite effect of the spin. So stand off over here. You come. And you get where you can fall, okay, if you're going to fall. And you come and break the ribs. This is a projection. What happens is, as you come in, I'm getting completely off the line, so I'm not where the bat is, see? At this point, it really doesn't matter if the bat hits me. Here, the bat will really break everything, all right? But in this position, swing hard now. See? Nothing's going to happen. If I'll close the gap and get in that close, then nothing will happen. It's simply a matter of me just continuing my circle, adding momentum to your energy, and that really throws you out. Try it again at speed. Try to hit the ribs. See if you can break them. Good. Okay? In this control, I've got you locked. I can strike you or move away from you. And I've got the bat. That's the way we control the medium weapon coming here, the midline of the body. We're going to look at the bat again because it's a nice medium weapon to use, and we're going to look at what we call sourcing. Sourcing will be, Terry, come in here a minute. We'll talk about sourcing. With the bat, when I'm going to enter the inside and I'm going to do opening, which we talked about earlier, I'm going to use the shoulder here to source as part of my circle to try to prevent him from hitting me in the shoulder or in the arm or in the side of the head with the bat coming down on an angle like so, okay? So I want you to get over here, and I want you to give me a good shot with that bat, okay? About right there. Okay? This is a sourcing move. Let's break this down and see what we did. As he comes in, I get off the line, and again, neutralize, but not block. This hand plows into him, lifting upward, water palm. Bang. That shocks him. You see how it throws him away from me? And as it does, this hand comes right in with the release to take the bat. That's the ideal way to do it. Of course, it doesn't always work the ideal way when you're doing it at speed because everything changes, and you have to be able to adapt and flow. That's, again, why I say don't try to learn a specific technique. Look at these to teach you principles, not exactly how to do it. Let's do it one last time. Come in with it here. We'll use the sourcing move. All right? Very good. Now, what Terry will tell you is that when the bat is coming in, he's pretty well convinced he's going to hit me here. As I circle, when I come here, again, we have what we call the brain blink when it hits him. It, just for a minute, shocks his body enough to move the spine. He's worried about standing up, not hanging onto the bat. So I have to time that so that at that moment, that's when I take the bat out of his hand. That's what's really, really important. He's using that entering, neutralize, counter, control, disarm. We're going to give Mike the bat now, and we're going to talk about coming from the ground up towards here to strike. He's going to be hitting me in this position, so he might be coming up to try to break ribs or coming up to hit the side of the head here like this. I'm going to use wind palm here in the Twin Yang position to attempt to stop you from hitting me like this. So back off over here where you get where you would come from an attack position, and I want you to give me a really good shot. Okay, I'm not going to go at totally full speed on this because I've got to hit him in a very vulnerable area, and I want to avoid that. I want to also point out something here. The gentlemen I'm working with have done a lot of full contact fighting, a lot of full contact work, and they're used to taking shots, and they ask me to go ahead and give them some of the shots, and that's fine. But in some of the techniques, I have to hit points that would really cause a tremendous amount of pain, and Nine Dragon system does not pull punches. We don't pull punches when we strike, so we strike with full energy. In order to keep from hurting him, I will sometimes break, meaning that when he comes in here, I'm going to hit him, but I'm going to let my arm relax rather than have the full energy pop down into the shoulder muscle or into the neck muscle, which would cause all the damage, or breaking the clavicle. So sometimes I will break the arm like this, and I'm not using the full power, but I'm not reducing the speed or the energy. That means that I'm not pulling my punch, basically. If you train yourself to pull your punch, then you'll do it automatically sometimes on the street, and then you run into trouble because you're hitting the guy and he's still standing there looking at you. All right, yeah. So what I want to do here is come in and go almost combat speed, but not quite, so I don't hurt my friend Mike here. All right. You come in, you're going to hit me and break the ribs from here, okay? You notice the bat ends up under my arm like a Fred Astaire dance technique, all right? And the way that happens is that when Mike comes in and I come with the wind palm, it drops down to here. Now this hand in wind palm has just hit the bicep and is coiling on down. His arm is right here, Mike. His arm is coiling down, and I've struck him here on the neck. Now the wind palm is continuing to turn with my waist and pushing him, and my hand is just folding in. So it automatically pops out just like this, and that carries him on down. I've got the bat from this position. From here, I can swing right back up to strike or attack. Blending and controlling is the secret. First, as he comes in, neutralize, that's get off the line, move the spine. Counter, control the arm, disarm. See? Those are the things. N, C, C, D. Neutralize, counter, control, disarm. You're not always going to have the opportunity to get the bat on the first time. So you've got to be able to react, counter-react, and do what has to be done. Of course, if you can run, do so. If you can't, then do what has to be done as quickly as you can. Make sure that the attack can't continue. Matt, I want you to try to hit me in the head with the bat, okay? I'm going to use wind palm, water palm, and any palm that happens to come out in this little situation here. What we're doing here as you moved in is I missed you. I missed taking the bat. So when you came in this way, I slipped by you using the palm, but in order to keep you going, I pushed you because I couldn't take the bat. Now you know how to roll, so you came right out of it and came back at me. Now I came back in here with the water palm again, carrying you down. Just carry the bat back around, take your leg out. See? I don't want you getting up, coming after me with the bat. So I'm going to strike you in such a way that I will hobble you so you can't come at me. Okay? All right, that's how that would work.
Remember to study the principles more closely than exact physical technique. Always use practice weapons and work slowly before attempting to move faster. It's also a good idea to wear any kind of protective equipment that will make your training safer. Be practical, not fancy. In the next tape of this series, we will learn how to protect ourselves from a knife-wielding bad guy. I hope you will join me for our next course in Nine Dragon Bakwazang Street Combat Concepts. Until then, this is Captain John Pater saying, thank you for being with me.